Good afternoon and welcome to NYFP. This afternoon I'm joined by Ben Willis of Sunrise Securities. Hi Ben, thanks for joining me today.
Always my pleasure.
Well, in today's trading session, we're seeing the Dow Jones Industrial Average yet again below the 11,000 level. And this time we're seeing pressure out from the Eurozone, especially the French banks. But could you give us a little insight into what we're seeing and why we're seeing this reversal today?
We'll call it the panic du jour. It is definitely based in France, but it's not the French government. There are stories on, I'll call rumors, because the bank that was mentioned, Societe Generale, actually has denied all the stories. But the early morning before we opened, it turned our futures lower. There were stories that Sogen was insolvent, that they were selling gold below market value, that the president of France was in an emergency meeting. So far, none of those stories have been proven to be correct. So this is the old trade on the rumor, and we'll cover later. So that's the effect of what we're seeing today.
Okay, well, I do want to take a step back and look at yesterday's trading session. We saw markets rally heading into the close on the heels of the Fed Reserve comments. But how do you see the monetary policy affecting the equity markets in the near future?
Well, the old phrase is you never fight the Fed, and the Fed has given you till May of 2013 not to fight them. They are going to leave interest rates basically at zero. So that was a good thing because markets don't particularly care for unknowns, and that's definitely a known factor now that anybody can invest with or trade against, however you want to phrase it. So that being said, the rest of it will now be the Washington will move us on their panel of 12 experts, et cetera. So, but as far as monetary policy goes, I think we got a pretty clear direction yesterday.
Okay, Ben, last but not least, before we wrap it up for today's interview, safe haven demand continues to drive up gold prices, and they did top the 1,800 an ounce level today. But in terms of the overnight session, what do you expect to see in terms of commodities and safe haven demand?
Well, like I said, the panic du jour. This market is like a cat on a hot tin roof. Anything can change its direction. It's frightened, and as we saw yesterday, we had a great turn off our lows. But I'm not going to predict. I mean, we are hearing stories that Goldman is predicting different things going forward. That's not really what I'm into. We just have to react as traders. But if good or bad, the market will have a hypersensitive reaction, I guess is the way to look at it. So if you have stories coming out on oil with the IEA changing their demand requirements, et cetera, et cetera. So any little tidbit of a story will move this market.
Okay, Ben, well, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for your insight during midday trade.
My pleasure.